Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 17th to the 23rd of January 2022. So we begin the week with a very potent full moon in Cancer. So the moon is at 27 degrees Cancer, and that's at 23:46 UK time. Cancer is the sign of our subconscious waters, and it's there that anything that's been repressed can be held. All full moons are a time when, because they're opposite the sun, things can come up from underneath the surface. And Cancer is the water of the body, so we do tend to hold on to our emotional story. And full moon by full moon, and with other transits as well, things can always be brought up from the surface for cleansing at this time. So a powerful, cellular, watery full moon in the sign of Cancer, right at the end of that sign, and opposite the sun at 27 degrees Capricorn. So look at where those are for you in your chart, especially regarding what house they're in, and if there are any natal planets making aspects. So the Cancer Capricorn axis is emotional, can be in two ways where we've been hanging on to something. One, in those repressed waters with the moon, but also Capricorn hangs on to things almost in the bones, and the calcium of the bones just takes things very seriously and lets things build up until the bone skeletal system, and the knees especially, can get very calcified. A sense of rigidity and seriousness. So both of these signs need to learn how to let go, how to loosen up, how to stop controlling, and how to be more simple in the heart centre, clearing up those emotional states. So this full moon we also have Pluto next to the sun, and this has been going on all weekend. It's a very, very deep aspect. This year, last year, this year we're going from Capricorn energy to Aquarius energy, and the sun passing over Pluto does indicate that we can have a rebirth of sorts as we let go of old contracts and take our focus and power back deep within. Loosen up on feeling responsible, obligated, burdened or hard-working in any way, giving our power to others, and to really take that back deep within. So Pluto conjunct the sun, treat that like an alchemical healing as we bring up things from our bone marrow and the cells of our body that have been weighing us down, heavy energy, reliant on the external, not being flexible enough on the internal. But we're really letting go of hundreds of thousands of years of the old system, so this isn't easy. So just notice what comes up for you and what you're ready to let go of. Because this week holds a very Aquarian energy. So the first couple of the days of the week we really are looking at how to let go of the old. And by Tuesday we have the North Node moving into Taurus. So the nodal axis now is going to be Taurus Scorpio, and the eclipses will be in May and November along that axis, but we'll start to get a warm up here as to what that feels like. So Taurus resonates with presence, appreciation, value in the physical plane, in the body, in our lives, what we value. And Scorpio is what we value deep within, our real values, our wisdom, our soul, our strength, our courage, our depth, in more of the spiritual invisible plane. So we start to get tuned in there with the Taurus-Scorpio axis, but we won't be heading towards eclipses just yet. Wednesday is the biggest day as we have the sun moving into Aquarius, so very much going from Capricorn to Aquarian energy now. And we also have Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, turning direct on the same day. So this is very exciting. We're going to feel this like a bolt of lightning. As the light starts to return, the frisson of Aquarian energy electrically comes pulsing in. And because we've done the clear up of the density with the Cancer full moon and Pluto Sun conjunction, we should be ready and buzzing for this whole new energy to come and activate us. So the best way to learn astrology is as we go along, and I really do recommend that this year you get to know each sign according to the sun passing through that month. So take stock of all the Capricorn energy that we've had since the winter solstice, of everything that's coming up with the Pluto opposite full moon Cancer, with everything that's happened for the past couple of years as Saturn and Pluto have moved through Capricorn, deconstructing and reconstructing. But now we're looking a little bit more forwards as we go through the month of Aquarius, get really acclimatized to the point that you can feel and embody the energies of Aquarius, because that way you don't need to pick up a book or try to remember. Have a look at the quality of the light It's very piercing and bright and clear at this time of year, but also there's a sense of hope and vision as we witness the daylight hours getting longer. Nature starts to come back. Snowdrops are the first flowers to come up. Some trees have early blossoms. All of these are signs of hope for the new cycle and life returning to the planet. So I looked at it from this perspective. These are very Aquarian energies, the brightness of the light, the excitement that comes in, the letting go of the past, but also we're starting to feel a little bit excited for the future as well. Talking of Aquarius, we're currently in the retrograde phase of Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So as we know, this began on the 14th of January and will run until the 4th of February. So we're at the beginning of that phase, but by the time we get to the weekend, we're going to have Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun. So the Sun and Mercury retrograde together. So this will be a highlight of the Mercury retrograde. The Sun literally lighting up what the message is there. Could bring flashes of inspiration and genius. Could bring a change of mind, ability to think differently, tune into higher thought forms, get revelations. And it feels like going backwards to go forwards. Although Mercury will be retrograde, this will actually start to show the seeds of what it is that we will be focusing on and excited about and acting upon as Mercury goes direct and we progress through the sign of Aquarius with the Sun. So look out for signs and symbols, messages, revelations, insights, bright ideas and sudden changes in perspective to come in by the weekend. So very big aspects going on. It shouldn't feel too roller coaster like because everything's going at its own pace day by day, delivering its messages. It's not a very quick energy until we come to the Uranus direct and the Sun moving into Aquarius. But the speeding up then will be a natural one really, as if we're getting gifts every day. We're not being battered around by a whole conflagration of planets, but we're just slowly being tuned in to the lightning bolt that is Aquarian energy. So if you'd like to see where this is happening for you, I am available one-to-one online for readings, classes and coaching. I post these videos on my YouTube channel, Zoeastro. I post on Facebook, AstroZo, Instagram, ZoeHine7. But with any inquiries, please do email me, zoehine7@gmail.com, because I'm always happy to be very flexible with content and customise all sessions to suit you. As Aquarius is the sign that is most aligned with astrology, then do consider learning astrology this year because it's not as difficult as you might think. And if you walk the year intuitively, I can give you lots of tips and tricks on how to tune in so that this comes to you, because you're remembering all of these sacred arts rather than having to learn them. They're already inside you and we'll just be waking them up. So it is possible to learn this for yourself. Just takes priority and pacing. One of the main failings is people take on too much at once and then it all becomes a bit confusing or conceptual, stays in the head. But if you gave yourself a year and a day from Wednesday as the Sun moves into Aquarius, then by this time next year you'll have a natural, intuitive and wholesome knowledge of how all of this works. And if we incorporate tarot and numerology as well, you actually get pictures of what's going on through the tarot cards and a greater connection with how all the numbers and the geometry works. So there's a lot to learn, there's lots of layers to each of your learnings, but you've got to start somewhere. So I would say have a look at making this year the year that you decide to learn astrology for yourself and tune in to your soul plan and these great and ancient gifts. So wishing you a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.